Welcome back, everyone. So last time, Muhammad, you mentioned this story that you said is, there's a great value to it. There's a great benefit.
Yeah.
I'm excited to know what it is, inshallah.
So there was actually this incident that Omar Ibn AlKhattab radiallahu anh, as a Khalifa, he was walking around the city of Medina.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a habit of his that he would kind of go on his horse or his donkey or whatever. He'll just walk around and kind of check on people, make sure everybody's okay. And this kind of really shows his responsibility. So one time he was walking around and he heard a man that was reciting like his night prayers. So Umar radiallahu anh was kind of intrigued.
Yeah.
So the man was reciting to Tur, right? And it came to a verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ عَذَابَ رَبِّكَ لَوَاقِعْ مَا لَهُ مِن دَافِعٍ. Right? The punishment of your Lord is gonna come down, right? It's gonna happen, right? Nobody can push away hellfire, nobody can push away the day of judgment, nobody can push any punishment to come down, and مَا لَهَا مِن دَافِعٍ, right? It's gonna come, nobody can push it away whatsoever.
Yeah.
Umar radiallahu anh was very touched by that verse. He comes off his ride and he kind of leans to the back of the wall of the house of this man. And he continued to contemplate on these verses and contemplate and contemplate. And then he went home. And the narration mentioned that he was sick for an entire month. He was sick at home for an entire month. Shaykh Sayyid Qutb rahimahullah, who mentioned this story in his Dhilal, he talks about why was Umar sick? And he mentions that it was actually a surah that the Prophet ﷺ used to often recite in Salatul Maghrib. So it's not the first time Umar radiallahu anh hears that surah.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened to him that time? Like, why was it different? And he makes this commentary that I think is extremely important. He says that this was a moment where the heart of Umar was open to receive the revelation. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He says, لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل رأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. Like if these words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this revelation, would to be revealed on a mountain, it'll crumble.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine an entire mountain? It will crumble. Right? We're obviously not as strong as mountains.
Yeah.
But it was a moment of truth for Umar radiallahu anh. It was a moment where Umar's heart radiallahu anh was open and was ready to receive that revelation. And subhanAllah, many of us go through these moments in Ramadan. And a lot of times we pass right through them. Right? You're listening to the recitation and you pick up a verse and you hear a verse that you understand.
Yeah.
And you can connect to. So you kind of live in that verse for that moment and you move on. You'll be reciting, you're listening to a lecture, whatever it may be. The deed that I really wanted everybody to focus on in the last 10 nights is that if you find a verse that you really like, live in it for a moment. Stay there for some time. And there is actually another practice that the Prophet ﷺ used to do when it comes to the Quran, which I'll mention to everybody inshallah tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.